Good to see you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. We were just wondering. I haven't seen Aishwarya Radhika Mataji for a while. Is all good on her end?
Hare Krishna, Dandat
He's
Pranam.
recovering from Bhakti Shastri.
Oh,
Is that right or what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just-
yesterday also I was thinking, where is Shri Radhika Mataji? Because it's been a while, really.
Okay, so I'm just going to put the link there. Today we're not having luck with Facebook, so I'm broadcasting right now. Here we are broadcasting on YouTube, and let me just put the link over there. We'll get back to starting. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hare Krishna, Shraddha Mataji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. And so Suyash Prabhu, you are creating the reading order.
Victoria is coming too, so I add her.
Okay, great. All right. So I think we are set, and we can get going now. And you also have the Vigyapti Panchika prayers with you. Ready, Suyash? Okay, so let me just close all these things that are running here. I don't need them. All right, so let's see who all are there. So we have Suyash Prabhu, of course. Then I saw Sutapa Mataji, Sashi Shekhar Prabhu, Ishwari Radha Mataji. What a wonderful morning here. Okay, so let's get
Hare
going.
Krishna, Pranam.
Hare Krishna
Hare
and
Krishna,
Vaishnava
Mataji,
Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. And so we should get started. And let's see. Do we have, will you bring up the Vigyapti Panchaka verses for us? Prabhu? Are you already sharing it with us? Okay, good. Okay, so let's get started here with the prayers first. And Om Jnani Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajame kim bhruve purushottama yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvata yatha mano bhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvayi bhumao skalita padanam bhumirevavalambanam त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभु गोविन्दा वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा त्वदीयमिति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निधिपादाब्जा Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyataam. All right, so Suyash Prabhu, if you can give us the reading order for today.
yes, Mataji. So reading order is Sutapa Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Priti Radhika Mataji, Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Suyash, Manasi, Shashi Prabhu, Shisheka Prabhu, Victoria Mataji. Okay, I had typed Priti Radhika Mataji twice. Niral Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, and Shraddha Mataji.
All right. Okay, so let's get going with the translation.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Who goes after Sutapa?
Varshana Mataji.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, You alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
So yes, Prabhu.
झालं हो गया
Okay. So yes.
Uh,
See?
we are done with Vidgayatri Panchaka, Mataji.
Yeah. Then reflection time now. Actually.
Manu me ramatam tui.
Yes, I'm looking for phrases from you. Okay, mano me ramatam tvai. What does that mean? Mano me ramatam tvai.
You are the only one who remains in my heart.
You are the only one that remains in my heart.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to polish it a little bit? You're almost there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like my mind be playing in you.
Let my mind be. So there's a prayer over there, right? It's a prayer. So it doesn't happen yet. My mind is not yet in you, right? Why? Because why is my mind not in the Lord?
I'm a sinner.
I'm just opening my mind. So
I'm opening my mind. And then, of course, I'm telling them, as Preeti says, that I'm a sinner, right? So as long as we have got all these other proclivities to sin or to be sinning, actually, then it is difficult for the mind to be resting on the Lord. And so he's saying that the prayer is that let it be like that, right? We have not yet reached that stage. Okay. What else?
I have only one request. May you, which is Radharani, and Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
Okay. So there's only one request. How about that for simplifying the life? Yeah. Okay. What else is there?
दास्यं मायां प्रदीयताम्.
Tasyamayam pradiyatam. What does that mean?
Please give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Give me a little service at your lotus feet. What else?
I like how it compared to the attraction of a young man to young woman and other way around. Probably the strongest bond in the material world, strongest attraction. So it's been compared like how it naturally gets pushed towards that. So I loved the comparison there.
Yeah, you like the comparison. And actually, the comparison is telling you something very nice. And that is that sometimes when we are given a task and sometimes when we have to do something new, our immediate reaction is like, oh my God, I can't do it. So what this verse is telling us that of course we are praying, so we are human beings, we are either a man or a woman. So we know what it means to have that attraction towards the opposite sex and to have intense feeling and to have completely focused feelings on the opposite gender. And so this means the good news from here is that we know how to do it. That is, we know how to focus with an undeviated attention. We can know how to focus. All that you have to do is to change the focus of your attention, as you said, Prabhu, like that. So good news is that you can do it. It's not impossible for any one of us. We can do it. And what is the guarantee that you can do it? Here is the little thing, that you are wired to do that. It's already there in you. Devotional service is already there in you. All that you have to do is to revive it. And reviving it means that it's buried somewhere. So where it is buried under, once we know that where all these my devotional service is gone, then it will be easy for me to do anything. So don't think that the austerities that others are performing, they are for others. I can never do it. All that you have to do is slowly with small daily improvements. Small. The key word is small. Don't try to jump from suddenly from a cliff and take off on your bhakti. Slowly, we have to go small, very, very small. For example, if you have to get up in the morning, early you have to get up in the morning. Okay, just 5 minutes today, 6 minutes tomorrow, 7 minutes earlier, day after, like that. Slowly, slowly, slowly let the body get used to it. But you have it in you to be able to do it. That's the good news there. Good. Anything else from that verse?
Prathe tvam aham sada.
Prarthye tvam aham sada. And why did that strike your mind?
This is my request. We always have to request Krishna to give his mercy. So the mood in which we are seeing.
Yes, the mood in which we are seeing, and then it cannot be a demand, right? Cannot be a demander. We have to ask, we have to request in a nice way. Yeah.
Whenever I sleep, you only give me the shelter. So I'm very thankful to you.
Yeah. Very good. So which verse are we doing today in Bhagavad Gita?
1.40.
1.40. Is that good news or what? Huh? Isn't it?
Yeah, Mataji.
We have reached the 40th verse. And how many verses are there in the Bhagavad Gita?
46.
46, right? So we're almost there. I still remember, Kyati Mataji, remember when we started this?
Yeah.
We were just thinking like, going down into purport might be a difficult thing. Let's just get going with the, just do the translations and then cover all of Bhagavad Gita. But we decided, for whatever reason, we decided to go deep inside the purports. So what do you think about that? About reading, being able to read the purports from Bhagavad Gita?
I think being able to read and even reflect on it, especially the association of devotee, has really deep meaning. So Prabhupada has like simplified so much for us, and then doing it in this way gives even more understanding. So
yeah. And that is why, the association of devotees is so important, right? And it also kind of puts a nice little peer pressure on us, right? Hey, I don't want to be late. I want to be there. What if they see me? What if I'm not on the camera? And Chanda Mataji.
And Mataji, we couldn't realize that already it's 2 months are gone. Like it is means it's Monday and it's Friday. So it is so, it looks like it's so quick.
Yes, and can you imagine that normally they say that bad days go by slowly and good days go by fast, right? So our so-called bad Corona days are actually going back so fast. Malati Mataji, she's a Prabhupada disciple, and she was, I was on a conference call with her and other Matajis, and she was saying that I'm loving it. I don't have to travel. I don't have to purchase tickets. I don't have to arrange this. I don't have to arrange that. I don't have jet lag because she travels a lot. And she was saying, I'm here, and it was Mother's Day. And since morning, she had talked once to London. She had some other presentation there. Then she had come to our ISV meeting, like that. And so make the most of this. Make the most of this. And then we'll figure it out how we can continue it, irrespective of Corona or no Corona, like that. We'll have to figure it, because by the time you'll get a taste of doing it.
Suresh Prabhu yesterday was saying that Mansi Mataji cannot work if she doesn't hear the class every morning. Like she can't start working if she has missed the class.
Is it? Wow. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it is infectious. And I gave a class at Modesto congregation yesterday, of course, from my own home here. And I was talking about that because one of them said that we can't, I don't know whether it's happened. Something like general mood was that, I'm doing this, but I don't know. And they are amazing. It's an amazing congregation. That when this Corona, they have a temple there, and they would go there once a week or twice like that to the temple. And now, as soon as Corona came, they started a Zoom call, as all of us, and then they do it every day. They have an hour long class every day, like that, So it's amazing. It's amazing and wonderful congregation. I posted the recording on my Facebook page. So anyway, so one of them was saying was that, I don't know. The mood was that I don't know about what is happening. Is something happening because I'm doing all that? And the good news is that, it is happening. The changes are happening. Some of you were vocal about that, told us that it's happening. Some of you have come recently, like Victoria Matis has come here recently. That doesn't mean that she's not a devotee. She's already been practicing all that. But then, you will all get affected by that. It might not be visible immediately. So, and we might not feel it, but when and Vaishnavi Babu uses the term imperceptible. You cannot perceive it. And what better way of putting it, since we have been talking about seeing a lot in the Bhagavad-gita verses, right? Arjuna is seeing, Duryodhana is seeing, intellectual seeing versus physical seeing, and so on and so forth, right? And, foreseeing, which Arjuna is doing right now. So he says that these changes are imperceptible. You might not be able to perceive them, but they are there. And why you're not able to perceive it, it happens very slowly. And he gives us the example. It's a little bit of a gory example. He tells us not to practice that at home. And he says that, if you put a frog in the water and you slowly heat the water, very, very slowly you heat the water's temperature will become hot, 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 and the frog inside will just die. On the other hand, if you put the frog in a slightly, warmer water, then it'll jump out. So when the changes are happening, in the first case, when the changes are happening, the frog doesn't know that the temperature is changing outside, like that. So all these changes are happening with us. We should try as a practice to get into the reflective mood, right? So it's not something that we do here in the morning and we are done with it. Like, we had the breakfast, we are done with it. No, this is something that you chew on again and again throughout the day. Reflect on it, think on it, take one phrase, one verse, from the Vigyapti Panchaka or from the reading or from the deep dive into a verse, and then reflect on, see how you can apply that into your life or observe that in others. And then that way, Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. So go back to your battlefield, which is your work, which I know, Victoria Mataji has to start in 13 minutes. So I really appreciate, Victoria, you being here because I know you have time pressures, and so does, Khyati Mataji also has those kind of pressures, and others as well that I might or might not know of. So just trying to make that time. It's a voluntary life change that you're doing, right? Little change here, little change there, adjustment, but then you will get the taste of it. And then you will be like Sutapa, saying that I cannot, I cannot even perceive how time has gone, how time has, spent and fled like that. I remember Sutapa from the time that she used to say that this is not my time, it's on the East Coast, and evening classes, it's late in the night and all that, and she's there for all of them like that. So the taste will develop, and I'm so happy, and I draw my strength from you. I draw my strength for the day from this class. It's not just you, because I'm in a devotee association as well. So thank you for doing this for me as well.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
I think when you were saying this, it reminded me of the Bhagavad-gita 2nd chapter. I don't remember the verse number, but what is night for all being is a time of awakening for self-control.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though it is like bad days, but as Malti Mataji put it, right, it's a very good time for our sadhana. So
exactly.
We really thank you for giving us that opportunity to advance into Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, and it'll make a difference, and it was Khyati's idea, by the way.
No, Mataji.
Khyati's push, actually.
Ideas without implementation and leaders are nothing. So.
But it is the seed. It is the seed. Somebody has to plant the seed, and in our parlance, we talk about bhakti, seed of bhakti, which gets planted into the heart, and then you have to nurture it.
So that seed was actually Krishna for giving us time for separation, and then the only binding for us was reading Bhagavad-gita together.
Exactly.
Not us, Krishna.
Yes. So you see how you can utilize adversities in life into our, into our. I remember, yeah, Vidyavadhu Mataji had, my sister, I can tell her because I know her intimately. She had an accident a few years ago. And somebody had tried to snatch the chain from her neck, and she was in a rickshaw, and the rickshaw, overturned, and she fell down. She broke her backbone, and ever since that, she's been suffering a lot from pain. But when she was on the bed confined, she doesn't know. She's a compulsive worker. She works all day long, and at work, she's retired now. But because of the pain, I mean, she just couldn't take to that lifestyle that I have to be on bed flat like that. And it is during those days that she read the entire Brahma Samhita like that. So make the most of your adversities, whatever. Like, and adversities can come in any form. You have to wait in the doctor's room. And isn't it amazing how the doctors will, when you make an appointment for the doctors, right? And so there'll be that letter that will come, or somebody will tell you on the phone, their office that organizes the visit, they'll tell you like, so your doctor's appointment is at 3:00, but we will prefer if you come there at 2:45 to do all the paperwork, right? And then if you don't show up, then we will nevertheless charge you and your insurance for that, right? And your insurance might not pay, then you have to pay out of your pocket. That's the standard verbiage that they give you, right? And then what happens when you go there at 2:45? You wait in a line. Then they will give you some paperwork, which gets done in 1 minute. And you're thinking like, it was a 1-minute job. Why did you call me sooner? And then, of course, the doctor never shows up. You're waiting 10 minutes, 20, 25, 40, 45. It depends, on the doctor. What do you do at that time? You take out your Bhagavad-gita. You take out your sheet of paper where you have slokas that you're memorizing, right? Read it. If you don't have a sheet of paper, bring out your cell phone. You can see all. You can read anything. You go to the internet and read like that. So yes, adversity. Waiting at a traffic light is an adversity. You're rushing to go somewhere and the light goes right. Well, just chant the holy names of the Lord. It'll improve your consciousness, right? So it's better than, my headmistress said that better to light your own candle than to curse the darkness. So when these kind of things come up, why do you say like, yeah, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, that is bad. Oh, this doctor is bad and all that. Oh, forget about all that. I'm just going to improve our vibrations in the waiting room, right? Think about that. The fact that you're reading it, your mind is there, mind is emitting thoughts. Those thoughts are going to affect others imperceptibly without their even knowing it. It'll have its effect. And guess what? You have become a preacher now. You're preaching in your own silent way. So that way everybody can do that. And Krishna says that who is the most dear to him? The one who preaches this knowledge, right? Tells to Arjun like that. So you all can become a preacher. And actually, you should all gear up to do that. The purpose of attending these classes should be ultimate, nimittani, the ultimate thing for you all should be to preach. Like that. Okay? Yeah. So good. I'm glad we did that. And we should get ready now to dive into the Bhagavad.
We have a record attendance today, Mataji. We have around 15.
We have
Yes.
15. I want to see those 15. And you know what? Because we are broadcasting on YouTube, I won't be able to tell you the attendance here. Unless people watching us on YouTube, please come to my Facebook page and say Hari Bol so that I know that you're there. It makes me easier when I have a personality attached. And that brings us to the point that it's easy for you to do worship of the Lord when you think of him as a personality and not as just something vague, a concept, an energy, or a light. Like that. Klesho adhik taraste sham avyakt asakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham devavadbir avapsati. So Krishna says in 12th chapter of Bhagavad-gita that it is very difficult to concentrate on the impersonal form of the Lord. So we need personalities, and that's why I always insist that, if possible, switch on your video. If possible, come into the frame so that I can see you like that. Okay. So yeah, Suyash, Manasi, Sutapa, Sashishekar, Victoria, and Khyati, and soon to be joined by Neeral because I can see into the future. I'm just kidding. And who else do I see? I see Shraddha-devi Dasi, I see Preeti Radhika Dasi, and I see actually a new Mataji here today, and her name is Aarti, and I'm focusing that on her. Aarti, I'm so happy that you have joined the call today. And tell us about us.
Thank you, Mataji. I usually listen with Sakha Prabhuji online because I work in San Francisco. So I used to listen in the morning and in the evening. And I was working with Aparna Mataji for a long time that we want to have these call for the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And this is a perfect timing because we have a lot of time and I really want to start somewhere and complete a Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. I haven't done in my whole life. I didn't complete it. And then she just mentioned yesterday that we are having these calls and got so excited and that's the reason I texted you. So I'm really interested and I'm really, I want to put this discipline in my life that, I must complete all the Bhagavad and all the Bhagavad Gita.
Wow, what a fantastic goal to set, right? I must
Yes.
read the books. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
you have got, thank you so much for joining the call. So you are based in San Jose area, or?
I live in Sunnyvale, Mataji.
Oh, so you're close to the temple. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, good.
Very close.
Okay, very nice. So Suyash, you will add Aarti into our reading order and all those who have joined us today, right?
I did, Mataji.
Okay, perfect. He already did. Very good. Very good.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. And Divyangi Mataji from, before that, I see Ishwari Radha Mataji. I see Divyangi Mataji. I also see Smriti Mataji. And also Suruchi Mataji is there. And Garima Mataji is there. Yes, we are not missing anybody, are we? All of you are here. Thank you so much. Yeah. And I don't know, Suruchi, Smriti, Garima, could you please let us know whether you're able to read or not? Have they already told you, Suyash? Maybe they did. I'm not looking at the chat.
Yes, I think Suruchi Mataji and
Krishna Mataji.
yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, I am unable to read.
Okay, but
I
you.
just like to listen today. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for the class.
Yeah, Haribol. And Smriti was trying to say something, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm actually outside, not able to read, but I love to listen to the class. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And then Garima texted to say that she can read. Okay, so good. We have our reading order in place. And without much ado, let's get going into our Bhagavad Gita reading. Welcome everybody to the class. Hare Krishna, Haribol. And who is going to read now?
Okay, myself, Mataji. Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Here in the army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
Okay, I'll just stop the sharing here because I wanted to see quickly see who all are there. Shashi Shekhar Prabhu, is Victoria Mataji there? I can't see the screen.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Okay, so can Victoria go in out of turn because I know she has to go to work?
Yeah, that's her turn now, actually.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead. I didn't realize that. Sorry.
It's text 4. Right here in this army are many heroic bowmen.
No, she read that.
Text 5. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kundibhoj, and Shaiba. Text 6. There are the mighty Yudha-Manu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
But for your information, O best of the Brahman, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead the military force. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadat called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in the battle.
Okay, let me just increase the Increase the font a little bit for you all to read, right? Okay. 9.
Next, please.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
All of you now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
Okay. One quick thing, if you're not talking, then if you can mute your phone, because I'm hearing some background noise which gets into the recording like that. Okay. So let's go next. Text number 13. After Khyati, who's going now? Is it
Divyangi Mataji.
After that, the conch shell, drums, buckles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
who's there after Divyangi? Is it me?
Aarti Mataji.
Okay. Aarti, can you mute?
Sure.
She muted herself.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhishma, the war eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell and called Pandura. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Antavijaya, and Nakula and Sahadev blew the Sughosa and Manipuspaka. That greater archer, the king of Kasi, the great fighter, Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Vrita, the unconquerable Satyakai, Drupada, the son of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as mighty armed son of Shudra, all blew their respective conch shells.
Haribol.
Haribol.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see who those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
Varshana Mataji.
Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Text 25. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Parth, all the Kurus assembled here. Hare Krishna.
There Arjuna could see, within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjun, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning."
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom or happiness.
Oh Govinda, okay. O
Okay.
Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers in law, grandsons, brothers in law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra?
Sin
Sin
will
will.
overcome us.
Yeah, continue, Prabhu.
Go ahead, Mataji. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead, Prabhu.
Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friend. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the wheels of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? O Janardhan, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin?
With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of family becomes involved in irreligion. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the woman of family become polluted, and from degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny.
An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestor of such corrupt families fall down because the performance for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kind of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated.
O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen.
Aarti Mataji. Aarti Mataji, are you there?
Haribol, I'm so sorry. I was on mute. Better for me if the son of the Dhritarashtra weapon in hand were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrow and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with the grief.
Hari Bol. So we finished
Bol.
reading one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and with the help as a team coming together and do that. So what's the words for today? One more time.
1.40.
140. Okay. And yeah, Khyati, you had not joined the call maybe at that time, but we were marveling that we are now on verse number 40. Okay, good. So I'm going to start sharing the screen and you can come in according to the reading order. Who is going to go next and give us the Sanskrit here?
It's you, Mataji.
Mataji, where's the reading order? How do I know when it's my turn?
That's a good question. So Suyash Prabhu, I'll ask you to tell us how you do that magic.
I type at the start of the call, I say it, and if not, you join later. You can find it in the chat window.
The chat is not available for people who join later, Prabhu. So we have to find a better solution to this. Maybe putting it in WhatsApp will be good, because someone who joins later, they don't see that conversation that happened before.
Yeah, that's why I keep on putting it later. Once someone joins, I will add the name and I put it on the chat. Today I have added at least 6 times.
He's doing some real-time processing.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's funny that this topic came up, because I was thinking of a couple of things in this reading. One is, I always see this as if it's it's a relay race where you have a baton in your hand and you pass the baton to the other person. So similarly, when you're reading these shlokas, we should always be ready to grab the baton, right? So be conscious of where your place is, and so that we don't have to wait for you, we don't have to call out, and you be aware that you have to come out of mute and then talk. That way we'll get some efficiencies of time, right? And then second thing I was thinking, Suyash Prabhu, was that to make your life easy, you might just want to maintain a Google Doc or something like that. And so that on the chat window, you just have to paste that link, and we can have a tiny link for that also, tiny.cc reading order or something like that. So every day you just have to post that, and then you can continue on the side, just keep maintaining that Google Doc as people come and go, just keep moving people here and there like that. Just a thought
Yeah.
on how we can improve.
Even we have touched this point. I have one thought. Let's have a roll number which is going to be fixed up till 20, and everyone would know their roll number. We can quickly go.
That's a good idea. Sure.
But it might be difficult for you, no, Suyash Prabhu, to be putting.
No, I will share the roll numbers today on a Google Doc and share it on WhatsApp.
Okay, put the roll number.
He doesn't have to write the name.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And sequence is also there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone knows. Okay, someone is not there, so they'll go like that.
And so, do you mean the names would be mapped to roll numbers? What would be constant? Like, I would always be associated with 5, or?
Yeah, you will be associated with always 5.
Okay.
He took
I want
5.
7. I want roll number 7.
Yeah, see, no, I was expecting that. I was expecting that. Like, I
No,
would do that.
those numbers are on T.
I'm joking. Mataji.
See, Shashi Shekhar Prabhu, you have to have Victoria Mataji make some very nice cookies and then leave them at his doorstep if you want number 7.
I'll have a cake for that. Cookies won't work.
Cookies won't work. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, you can figure out the algorithm. So Yash Prabhu, I know you are, in that line of business where you do all
mapping.
Sorry, Kati?
He is a neuroscientist, right?
There you go. So he will do that mental mapping, wiring, whatever happens. Yeah.
That's a very big name from Mataji. I'm nothing. Let's start.
All right. Okay. So should I bring it up? And here we go. It's text number 40. Adharma bhivat Krishna pradushyanti kula striyaha strishu dushtasu vashneya jayate varna sankaraha. Okay.
Adharma, irreligion, avivat, having become predominant. Krishna, O Krishna, pradushanti, become polluted. Kula striha, family ladies. Strishu, by the womanhood. Dushtashu, being so polluted. Varnashya, O descendant of Vishnu. Jayate, comes into being. Varna Shankara, unwanted progeny.
Unwanted progeny, yeah. Okay, let's go look at the translations.
When a religion is prominent, in the family. O Krishna, the women of family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. Hare Krishna.
Good population in human society is the basic principle for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress in life. The Varnashrama religions principle were so designed that the good population would prevail in society for the general spiritual progress of state and community. Such population depends on the chastity and faithfulness of its womanhood. As children are very prone to be misled, women are similarly very prone to degradation. Therefore, both children and women require protection by the elder members of the family. By being engaged in various religious practices, women will not be misled into adultery. Next person can read. I don't know how much.
Mataji, you want to scroll up?
I already am at the top.
You did?
Yeah. Should I adjust a little bit?
Yeah, because I see only pictures of everybody down here.
Oh. Does this help? Okay, let me stop sharing.
Maybe.
Huh? You should be at according to Chanakya Pandit. Let me stop the share and start it again. Maybe it'll kick something on your screen. Do you see it now?
Yeah, I see it. I'm just going to move the pictures, I think.
Okay.
The people. Okay. According to Chanakya Pandit, women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy. So the different family traditions of religious activities should always engage them, and thus their chastity and devotion will give birth to a good population eligible for participating in the Varnashrama system. On the failure of such Varnashrama dharma, naturally the women become free to act and mix with men, and thus adultery is indulged in at the risk of unwanted population. Irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race at the risk of war and pestilence.
Haribol. Okay, we come to the best part of the day. Now for the reflections, and talking about reflections, there were some reflections coming on YouTube/Facebook today. They might be a little bit dated here, where I see we have Dilip Bhai Patel, Prabhu Vidyavadhu, and Neha Mataji. Vinu Kohli is also there. So yeah, so one of the reflections was Tom Eva Sharanam Prabhu. Tom Eva Sharanam Prabhu was coming from the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. But I'm also thinking that Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu was also something that Arjuna did in the beginning when there was a choice of whether he should take the Narayani Sena or what should he take. And he took Krishna's shelter at that time. And now again, you know, he has turned to Krishna and he's talking and he's asking him questions. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that information there. Okay. So let's get going. Preeti Radhika, I think, wanted to share.
Yeah, I have actually a question. This is definitely a loaded purport. Like when we were reading it, I was like, oh my God, that one, that one. So I have a question that one of my best friend that I was trying to preach in my college years, she was like, she was totally put off by this that women are unintelligent because she considered herself very intelligent, no doubt, materialistic point of view. She's a VP of a big bank company, so she's doing great professionally, right? So why are women unintelligent? At that time, I did not know how to explain that, and all I could think of that, yeah, we have these more envy, jealousy, and all that than men. They can control their emotions better. Maybe that's why. So I wanted to ask you, like, why Chanakya Pandit said that women are intelligent.
I was just, you know, as we were going through all these chapters and verses, I was just thankful that, you know, that this verse did not come in our schedule on Mother's Day. I was like, women will be so disappointed to hear all these things, and then for me, you know, being in a women's body, to be telling all of you. So obviously, you can think that your friend is not the only one in the first person who is actually facing this, right? Others would have definitely asked that question as well, right? And Prabhupada had answered that, you know. Prabhupada had answered that question. And so one of the things is they're saying that generally speaking, when you talk about things which are generally speaking, there is a generality in it, which means that there will be some specific cases as well, right? For example, when we say that in India, it always used to be that, that females are better students than men. I grew up just learning that the girls are better performers at class than men, like that, right? So it doesn't mean that all men are stupid. By that knowledge, when you say generally speaking, statistically speaking, and things like that, right? So that is one thing that we should keep in mind, right? The second thing is that these statements are not to do with material intelligence. That's for us, for all of us to see outside. I mean, especially for those coming from India, where you were ruled by a woman for so many years as the prime minister, right? Election after election after election, she won, right? So these are things that are happening on a material plane. So when you talk about material plane, they are the same. A woman can also do this, can also do that. Yeah, physically, they might be little, softer, but that doesn't mean, like, again, if I say women are weaker than men physically, then some, burly women might come and say, no, you're wrong. Right? Because I'm saying generally, if you go by the number generally, right? So that's that one general thing. And so when we are talking about, when the statement is made in the Shastras, the statement is based on, we are talking about spiritual. We are on a spiritual plane. And on a spiritual plane, they are saying that if you are a soul, now before all the men on the call and those watching us there get any ideas, we have to remember that Prabhupada also says that there is only one male in this entire creation. And who is that?
Lord Krishna.
Krishna, right? And all of our souls are actually females.
Females.
Right? And he uses that context, he uses those terms in the term of male and female. He explains that in terms of, if you are the enjoyer, then you are a male. If you are the enjoyed, then you are the female, right? So if you drop the male female thing aside and we just talk about the enjoyer and the enjoyed, then that's the concept, right? So Prakriti, they are saying, is female because she's enjoyed by the male Krishna, like that. So first and foremost, we all have to understand this on a spiritual level, that we all have to be enjoyed by Krishna. We all, irrespective of kind of body that we are in, male or female animal, or white or black, whatever kind of body that we are supposed to use this body as well as ourselves, the souls, in the service of Krishna. Everything that we do, we should be doing that in the service of Krishna. Okay, now comes the distinction in the bodies. Why just male and female? Why not talk about dogs and cats also, right? While we're having this discussion. So a few classes ago, I talked about how you get a gross body, or how you get a particular type of gross body, right? So first thing that is formed is your subtle body, your consciousness, the kind of thoughts you have, the kinds of desires that you have, right? For example, once Prabhupada was saying that there was some boy who they were skiing, and he says, well, if you like skiing and you like it very much to be, windsurfing and not skiing, sorry, windsurfing in the sea, then, next life, you might get the body of a fish so that you can spend all the time that you like in the water, like that. So your consciousness actually starts to take the shape. The task starts to take a particular shape, and which governs the shape of your subtle body. So if you have got a lot of tendency and I want to tear apart meat when I eat it like that, my consciousness is becoming like that of a dog or a cat or maybe even a lion, like that. So next life, there are high chances that I'll get the body of a lion because the consciousness is being shaped like that, right? So whether you get a woman's body or whether you get a man's body depends on the consciousness that is there. What are you thinking about? And that's why there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita that also says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajyat ante kalevaram tam tam evati konteya sada tad bhava bhavita. Right? So whichever thing that you think about. So one is that, what are you thinking about throughout your life? And that verse is Yanti Deva Vita Devan Prithin Yanti Pritin Vata Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya Yanti Majyajino Pimam. So he says that whoever worships the ancestors goes to the planet of ancestors. Whoever worships the Bhutas will go to the planet of Bhutas, ghosts. And whoever worships me, which is Krishna, he says will come to me. Right? So that is what you have been thinking throughout your life. So if you have been thinking bad kinds of things, and have a tendency to do this and to do that, you are actually shaping your destiny for your next life. But then the Yam Yam Vapi verse actually overrides the other one. You could be thinking of anything. You could be worshipping this ancestor or that ancestor. You could be worshipping Krishna, not worshipping Krishna. But at the end of your life, you're so attached to your wife. And the attachment includes hatred as well. So attachment and hatred are just on the same spectrum. So if you're very attached to your wife and you think about her, then you will become a woman. And Srimad Bhagavatam has got a story on that. It's an allegorical narration by Narad Muni, but it is there. A person thinks about his wife at the time of death and he becomes a lady in the next life, like that. So your consciousness will govern that also. Okay. Now, the chances of you thinking about something at the end of the life actually depends on what you're doing, have been doing all your life or recently in your life with a strong attachment, like Bharat, Maharaj Bharat, right? Towards the end of the life, he get very attached to a deer, so he got the body for deer. So depending on your likes and dislikes, your consciousness and your tendencies, you will get a woman's body or you'll get a man's body, like that, right? So on the physical level, that is what you're going to get. But on a spiritual level, you are still a soul, whether you are in a human body, whether you are in a human body or an animal body, whether you are in a female body or whether you're in a male body, right? So when a person gets a female body, it is because of certain tendencies that they have. And one of the tendencies is not getting very much attracted towards devotional service, but getting attracted towards the household things a little bit more. A woman has got this I and my tendency a lot. Try to tell a woman that their child has done something wrong. Try telling that, right? They are very attached. Again, generally speaking, there might be women, right? There might be women who are not that. So generally speaking, what happens is that, there will be a girl devotee, she's doing devotional service. There's a boy devotee doing devotional service, and people think this is the best thing that can happen, get the two of them married. They get married, and whoa, now the girl changes. She doesn't want to get up in the morning, or as soon as she gets up in the morning, she wants to prepare something nice for the husband. Oh, what happened to Krishna? From where did this husband come in between? Like that. So it's a constant practice for couples also to make sure that the center is Krishna, center of their life is Krishna for both of them, like that, right? So, however, remember that Krishna says in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and I think I should bring that verse up so that we can all relish it. And I think some of you already might know what I'm talking about. So this comes from the slew of verses where we are talking about, before that he says, Apichet Suduracharo. Okay, I'll just say that I'll start with text number 30 here. And actually 29. 29 might be a good place to start. And let me start sharing the screen here. And we'll start reading. So one verse. One. How many words? One. Okay. Just read one verse. And whose turn is it to read? Verse number 29.
Mataji read last. So Suyash Prabhu.
Suyash Prabhu, okay, give us 29. This is Krishna saying to Arjuna.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
Even if one commits the most abominable action, If he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
Now, this is the verse.
O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, that's merchants, and Sudras, that's workers, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is so of... Okay.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Engage your... After Khyati? Who reads? Do I read?
Yangi Mataji.
I'm sorry. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Right? So here Prabhupada is talking about, he talks about people doing abominable tasks, and if they take to devotional service, they quickly become righteous. And then he's talking about that according to the Shastras, there are lower births, people in lower birth, which means Chandalas, right? The Marechas and all that. And then even women who traditionally were not given an opportunity to participate in devotional service, earlier, like study Vedas and all that. But he's saying, Krishna is saying, even if they take to it, because this is Kali Yuga, things here are different, right? So if it is devotional service, there is no difference, because if you're doing devotional service and you're making a difference between women as far as the capabilities to do devotional service is concerned, then you have got it all wrong, right? Because you're still hovering on the material plane like that. So Preeti Radhika, answer to questions like that, when people are, when women, especially in high positions like that, are not liking the Shastras and references to Shastras, to women in the Shastras like that, you have to tell them that they are talking about spiritual. And then even in the spiritual, yes, women might generally have a tendency not to participate in devotional service, or to get diverted and distracted very easily because of the other things that they like, right? But it doesn't mean. And look at ISKCON on the altar on a Sunday evening, Sunday feast evening. Who do you see? When on a Sunday feast, we have the maximum gathering on a Sunday evening feast lecture, right? Hundreds of people come. And who is there on an altar mostly? Is it a man or is it a woman?
Krishna and Radha?
No. Doing deity worship.
Oh, puja. Yeah, women.
Women. Right? So Prabhupada, did not make that distinction. He said, you are both equal. He allowed them to do that. And especially if you come at ISV, ISKCON Silicon Valley, some of the higher positions, even in the temple, are being managed by women.
Even on this call, there are more women than men.
There you go.
Mataji, can I
So
share?
Prabhupada, just one second. Prabhupada also says that, however, if you come to a congregation, whenever somebody is coming to speak, right, you will find more women in the audience than men. And he says that women by nature are, they are also innocent. They're easily, you can mold their minds and things like that. And so they will come and they will sit. Men will ask 100 questions before they really agree to, like, is this person saying the right thing or not? And that is how they are. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. They are different. I mean, they are two different things. Woman is women, man is man. And don't try to imitate. Don't try to imitate and think, and don't have, like, women should not have that inferiority complex. Because if you're having inferiority complex, then you're doubting. Krishna has made me. And so Krishna also talks about fine speech, fame, memory. These come from women. Fantastic things, he says, among the women, I am this, this, and this, right? He says that 10th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. So he's talking about fame, and fame. We will talk more about fame, because I think we have not yet started going into this verse, but fame. So women should be known as fame. Give me the names of some famous women that come to your mind.
Rani ki Jhansi ki Rani.
Jhansi ki Rani, okay.
Radharani.
Radharani.
Radharani, Mataji, I was just thinking of Radharani that though she is a bhaktin, and that is why Lord Krishna always kept by his side, because she is a bhaktin. So that is why I feel that in spirituality, women can come up to that level and can always be with Krishna.
Yes, come up to this level with just a very slight rider over there, that we cannot become Radha.
Yes, Mataji,
Yeah,
that
we
is
should not
true.
aim to do that. Yeah, just a subtle, just a subtle warning there, that should not be aimed that I'll become Radha and replace and displace Radha. It can happen, right? Yeah, but then again, you see that yeah, go ahead, Sashishika Prabhu, you were trying to say something.
Sorry, Mataji, please go ahead. No, please go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, I'm done from my side. I was just asking for names of famous women.
I was just saying that, even our sampradaya, we are manjaris, right? We are assistant of manjaris. That means that, our position is actually of a female, and like rightly said, you said, only one purusha and rest everything is the enjoyed.
Yeah.
Also, Mataji, I had one reflection on this particular verse. So I've seen this. Everyone here who is in US has seen this. That on material level, women are very, very more educated in terms of, like, in the office, in my office, my boss is a woman herself, and I had so many women bosses, and I've seen them. They are very smart and very efficient at work. So materially speaking, they are they could be smart, and that there is no like distinction between a man and woman there, right? And so does this refer to spiritual intelligence? And you rightly mentioned that actually the soul is neither male and nor it is female. At least bodily gender doesn't apply to the soul, right? The same soul is today in man's body, tomorrow it will be in a woman's body, right? So it refers to material intelligence. No, I mean, like we proved. So I think, from what I assimilate from what you said is, in Vedic culture, however, the intelligence refers to the understanding of the fundamental truths of life. That I'm not the body, but I am the soul. That's the beginning. That's the beginning of the spiritual life, right? And generally speaking, in women, the bodily misidentification could be far greater than in the male body, because for women, her whole sense of self-worth and self-identity comes from, how good I look, how many heads do I turn. I mean, generally speaking, and not applicable for devotee matajis, right? But in general, like, women like to dress up nicely. That day I just took my what is that, trimmer, and shaved my head because I was like feeling annoyed, and then Victoria was disappointed. But in general, the important point is that bodily misidentification is much greater than in female body. And not only that, women are more sentimental than rational, which is actually a good thing when it comes to devotional service, because then women can easily bow down. Aarti Mataji, can you please mute?
I think she's adjusting her microphone or headset or something. I muted her. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. It's the sentimentality and the rationality is could be the distinction between a man and a woman, and that is also generally speaking not amongst devotee, because women, when they are sentimental, I have seen my mother and my father. I've seen my mother would like bow down, and she would do a lot of parts and everything, and my dad was never interested. He would get up and he would say, let's finish this is done. Like on Diwali also, I felt like more like my dad. Okay, let's finish this and have the jalebis and whatever. On Diwali we had like elaborate puja. My dad was always wanted to finish it. And the rational facility is the foundation for philosophical inquiry and discussion, like metaphysical study. And that is the beginning of serious spiritual search. So there is like distincting point could be rationality and sentimentality.
Yes, and also see that it is not wrong to be sentimental. It's not wrong to be loving and caring, because you need that. right? Imagine if a mother is not loving and caring to the kids, and everybody behaves like the way dads behave, right? Right? Everybody knows that. I'm not casting a slur on the dads like that, but in general, people know that moms are much more loving and giving. So we need that. That is also required. And so this type of a body gives you that. So the main thing for us is to from here is that, you know, equality is happening on the material plane. You can talk about equality being there, and they can be equal. And for women, I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes for women's liberation, people say that, you know, I am a woman, so why are you distinguishing between me? I'm also going to wear trousers. I'm also going to wear pants, right? I mean, women, if you look at the Vedic culture, women were not doing that, right? Women were wearing womanly clothes, men were wearing men's clothes. And quite some time. When I was growing up, for a woman to wear pants was taboo. Like my mom wouldn't even dream of wearing a pant, right? It was always saris. And then my generation came, we were wearing pants. But the thing is that for women, I would just say that, you know, don't be ashamed of your femininity. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And Krishna is saying that in the devotional life, everybody is the same. And like you can also achieve success. You don't have to be born as a man to be able to reach and go back to Krishna. In a woman's body, you can go back to Godhead. You can pursue devotional service, because devotional service does not distinguish between this and that, like that. Again, if you are imitating somebody, if you're saying that I should also wear pants, so somewhere you're sending across the message that pants are better, that or those who wear pants are better, like that. So live with your femininity, you know, and then focus on the good things that the female brings. I mean, if you look at when you read the Shastras, the words three, right? Here in today's verse, they have used the words three. Srishu dushtashu varshaneya. So Sri is being used for women. Now, in Sanskrit, the word Sri actually means one who expands. And in our Vigyapti Panchaka verses, we say, Yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha. So we are talking about the traditional and eternal attraction between the male and the female, right? That attraction is there. And then what happens because of that attraction? You will get married. So the man gets a Sri. And why do we say he gets a Sri? Because this one is now going to expand. So first there was one bachelor. He was living in one room. He had one pressure cooker in which he used to cook everything, right? And then comes a wife. And now suddenly the whole household has to change. Like what? We don't have a sofa. What? We don't have this. I want matching curtains. I want this. I want that. So a woman who is in the materialistic plane will make these kinds of extensions and expansions in your home. What to talk about a sofa? Then the kids will come, right? So that expansion is there. So Shastras will tell you about that. But the same woman, if she is engrossed in devotional service, might be able to help a materialistic minded man. Because men also can do this. Men also can go and buy the latest gadget, electronic, right? Mm. So a woman can tell that, or at least from her own side, she can demand. She can stop her demands and say, I don't want this, I don't want that, because you have realized what is the use of a diamond necklace? What's the use of a golden chain? Things like that, right? These are just decorations. The matter is dead. What is the point in that? So it has to be, this question has to be handled with a lot of intelligence and a lot of calm. And to tell a lady who's at a very high position, but slowly that understanding comes, you know, slowly that understanding comes. And to us, it might look like that, you know, when you're governing and you're leading a team of 600 people or something like that, that life is very good. And you're moving around like Jhansi Ki Rani and everybody, you know, you have a sword and everybody just listens to you. No. You could be the CEO of a company and your board of directors don't listen to you. They have their own politics at their own level like that. So sooner or later, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman at a high designation, you will understand that I am not the controller. When things get out of hand, and we have seen, were things in the control of Steve Jobs?
No.
right? He had to leave when he had to leave. He could not stay a little longer. He could not set the alarm clock and say, push it off. He could not put his life on snooze. He could not put death on snooze and say, come after 15 minutes. He had to go when he had to go. What control did you have? We don't have any control. The only control that we can have is the control that we can borrow from Krishna. And Krishna will give it to both. Ye pisu papa yoniya. Siu is ladies. Papa yoniya, all that. Kirad hununda pulinda pulkasha. Abhira shumbha yamana khashadaya. Yene cha papa ashraya shraya. Shudyanti tasme prabha vishnave namaha. So those who get purified by getting in touch with the devotees of the Lord, what to talk about the Lord. So I bow down to that Lord. So that is what our mood should be. Now try telling that to a female CEO. Number one, she might not have time for these things. She might not be in the mood to see those things. So let Krishna take care of them. Let Krishna take care of them. Sooner or later, this lifetime or next lifetime, it will happen. Because the idea is everybody has to go back to Godhead. And also remember that when women reach such high positions, and even men, when they reach such high positions, it is coming from their previous karmas. They did something that they are deserving of these kind of positions. They did something good, some pious activity, and on top of that, they had a desire. That's why they are there. Right? Sometimes, Krishna might put somebody in a good position, like Amrish Das Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple, right? From Ford Motors. So people will be there. And the best combination that you can think, Preeti, is that if you have a female head of a company and she's also a devotee, or you are a male head of a company and he's also a devotee. Like look at Salesforce organization. They have a meditation room in every floor of the building in San Francisco. So the idea is, not man or female or male or female. Those are just bodily designations. We have to rise above that, right? But be cognizant of the fact that there are differences between male and female. So certain things female are good at. And you can see here in today's words, there is so much of a dependency on the female. They're saying that if a female goes wrong, then how much of a disaster it is for the society as a whole. Like that. So I'm just doing a time check here. It's 7:45.
Mataji, I have just one word that is like stuck in my mind, that you mentioned the only control we have, which is borrow from Krishna, means why that word borrow is here?
Because Krishna is the supreme controller. He controls everything. So if I have to do any kind of a control, Krishna has to first sanction it. He has to give me that power to control. All my powers come from Krishna, because Krishna has made me. And as the super soul, unless he doesn't grant it, I cannot do anything. Any control, anything I cannot do unless the super soul. So whenever there's action, and we'll read about that in 18th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, 5 years down the line, in a morning call. We'll talk about that there are 5 factors to an action, right? There's a body, there's a soul, there's the senses, the action itself. And then the most important is the 5th factor, which is the super soul. That unless and until super soul grants it, you cannot do anything. Like that. That's what I'm saying.
Mataji, that one you were saying, you were asking if you can name one famous woman. I was thinking about Queen Kunti.
Good. Yes. And now I think that should set off a trigger of thoughts in your minds about famous women from our Shastras.
Yeah, Shita Mata also, like.
Draupadi.
Prabhupada?
Draupadi,
yes. Draupadi. Yeah, good to see you, Divyangi.
Uttara.
Shankara. See? Yeah. The more you read the Shastras, these names will start coming to your mind naturally. Devahuti,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Then on the other extreme, we have Diti, who gave birth to
Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu.
reaction Hiranyakashipu, right? Strishu dustashu varshaneya jayate varna shankaraha. Strishu dustashu, if there is something wrong in a woman, then you'll give birth to varna sankara, kids that we don't want. Like that. Yeah. So rise above all these things, rise above the concept of a male and a female, you know, and go to a higher plane and go to a higher level of consciousness and try to see the soul everywhere. And that's what we see in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. When he talks about perfection of yoga, he says that a perfect yogi sees everything, everybody, male or female, you know, friend or enemy, moderators, mediators, pious people, sinners, everybody he sees, they see as the same. Whether it is stone or a pebble or whether it is gold, they see everything as same. It's huge. Trying to do that is huge. It's not an easy thing to do. But through dedicated devotional service, Krishna will give you that strength. Because he said he's equal to everybody, right? We started from that verse, Sammoham Sarva Bhuteshu, chapter 9. He's saying, I'm equal to everybody, which means he's same to women and men. Like that. And for women, you know, there's some good news that, you know, people are generally attached to their mothers. They're softer to their mothers. Like that. And sometimes it is good. Like, you know, if you're saying that I'm bad, then whatever little good I do will become, you know, it'll become an accomplishment, right? If an intelligent child is there, if your children are very intelligent, the bar is raised. If women are low, good. You put a low bar on me, very good. I can climb over it easily. Like that, right? Life is more difficult for men then. Like that, right? So we are the happy species. Okay. So it's 7:52 now, and I think we should take leave. Thank you so much for joining, and we will continue this discussion again. This verse we'll take up again tomorrow. Okay, there's more to it over there. Vanchikalpatubhyasya kripasindubhya patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha gopremanande hari
Hari
hari.
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Have a fantastic day, everybody in Krishna consciousness, those on the Facebook as well as those who are watching us online.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
You're welcome.